Welcome back to the Plant Power Podcast. My name is Ian Beckles. Hopefully, everybody had a wonderful, healthy week. I've been doing this podcast for quite a while, and we started off as a cannabis podcast way back when. It's probably a half a year ago, and then we turned into the Plant Power Podcast. And at first, it was cannabis because that's part of my life. We're out here at the Dignitary Tea and Kava House in our little lounge area where if anybody has their medical card, they could come hang out and have their smoke, come get a kratom or a kava inside and take care of your business. So it started off as, the cannabis podcast, and then it turned into the Plant Power Podcast, which it is right now because of me getting into kava and things like kratom, which we sell here at the Dignitary Tea and Kava House, which are a big part of my life now. And also I've let people know that I've become vegan. And it's been since beginning of December, and I have people asking me every single day and every single week, are you still vegan? And I tell people now, it's what I am, okay? So I'm not testing it out. It's just, I'm going with this and we're seeing where it brings me. And so far, everything's been pretty darn positive, and I feel good, and I think that's the most important thing as you get on in age. I'm 54 years old, as you can see by the gray hair. We're not getting younger. So as we get older, we got to make some decisions that are good for our mind, body, and soul. And, me not eating porterhouses was a decision. It's not because I don't like the taste of a porterhouse. I think they're delicious. It just, to me, does when I eat a porterhouse, it doesn't feel like I'm lengthening my life. You know what I'm saying? So different people are vegan for different reasons. For me, it's a health reason. All right. So I'm also getting into the vegan way of living as far as eating. Different restaurants. We had the We Vegan Eats owners here the other day. They were fantastic. And here's another product that I've been hip to for a long time now. 3 Bar. It's plant powered, which is a wonderful thing. We sell it here at Dignitary Tea and Kava House. And I'm going to say this, even before I turned vegan, I had these bars just because I thought it was a good meal replacement and they taste delicious, and that's what they're all about. And so happens that I know the owner and the creator and the originator of the 3 Bar, and it's Miss Erin DeMarines. DeMarines. How are you doing today?
Good.
It's good to have you here. I mean, how long have we've known each other for a while, right?
We have.
Just through, probably from Extreme? Is that how it started?
I think so.
That's
that's been a long time.
That's a long time ago, yes.
Yeah.
I was one of the first people to walk in that door at Extreme, and I was one of the last people to leave, I think. So I was there for the whole time. Like, I could write a book about that gym.
Yeah.
I met a lot of good people, seen
Absolutely.
a lot of crazy things, but made a lot of friendships as well. And I wanted to have you on. First of all, we sell one protein bar here at the Dignitary Tea and Kava House, and it's a 3 Bar, okay? And that's because it's my choice. I love these to death. I eat them to death, and I benefit from not having to pay as much, which is good. But I push people to these all the time, and people go, "Oh, it's vegan, but how does it taste?" I'm telling you, these taste as good as any other bar that I've had back in the day. So I wanted you to come and sit in and talk to my people because you've been hustling for a long time in this game, and it took you a long time to create that. Tell everybody about your background in fitness and how you became vegan.
Well, I think what you said earlier about how you became vegan was for your health.
Mm-hmm.
That's certainly what it started out for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's morphed into something obviously much bigger.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
This energy bar was the original recipe from my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
I made these cookies when I lived in LA and was a personal trainer. And by accident,
Mm-hmm.
one of my clients was like, "Hey, make this healthier."
Okay.
I love it, but I'm your client.
Sure.
You're gonna make me fat with all these
Yeah,
cookies
that's
you're bringing
true.
over to my house. So I experimented in my tiny little apartment,
Mm-hmm.
and it worked. And she bought some, and she told her friends, and it just kind of morphed into my passion, my dream.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be sitting here today with you having this conversation
Sure.
had you not committed
Correct.
to being vegan, because
Correct.
I would get a little
Yeah.
message from you
Yeah.
every once in a while, "Hey,
Yeah.
I need those bars," and then I wouldn't hear from you for a
Yeah.
while, and then you'd say, "Oh yeah, I'm back to being
Yeah.
vegan again." And then you disappear.
Yes. But no, I told you this. The other times I just told you, like I literally said, I'm going to try vegan for a month. I literally said that. And this time, what did I say to you? I said, this time I'm just going vegan.
I'm vegan.
I'm just vegan, So, I don't know if you are anything all the time, but that's my mindset is there right now. So You've been in the fitness business for a while. You did personal training. What else have you done in the fitness world?
I mean, I was a triathlete for 13
Jesus,
straight
really?
years. Yeah.
Full triathlons?
I've never done an Ironman, but
Okay.
I've done a bunch of halves.
I'm saying like that's a big difference to me. Like what is that? What's a half? What's a half triathlon?
So it's a 1.2 mile swim, a 56 mile bike,
Okay.
and a half a marathon,
Okay.
all mashed together.
Yeah. Well, I'm acting like there's a big difference for the half and a full one. To me, there's no difference because there ain't no part of that what I'm going to be doing. I think I could probably do the bike if you give me a little bit of time to prepare myself. I've lived on a bike, but the swimming and running ain't going to be happening anytime soon.
The swim was always hard.
It's got to be because that's not a natural thing. It's a tough thing.
And it's the first thing.
And it's the first thing.
So then you have to then go
And
into
you're
the bike
gassed.
and you're,
Yeah. Unbelievable.
it's a lot.
So what did being vegan do to you as an athlete back in the day? Because I was an athlete. I'm not an athlete now. I don't do athletic
But
things.
you played for how many, 8 years?
I played nine years, yes. I was an athlete. Listen, I was athletic back in the day. I'm not an athlete anymore because I don't do athletic things anymore. So I don't really feel what being vegan is doing to me athletically, although I feel great. Like back in the day when you were, still active, and you're still active now. I see you do crazy stuff. Like, what does it do to you physically being vegan? I mean, do you feel like you have more energy?
For sure.
Yeah.
More energy is number one, but it's the inflammation and the recovery time.
That's right, yeah.
So I think a lot of people have a misconception like, oh my God, how could you possibly lift weights and not compete but train like I'm still competing
Sure.
on a vegan diet? Like that seems impossible. How do you get your protein, right? That's like the question I get every day. I'm sure you get
I
it
hear
too.
it a lot, yeah.
And the truth to the matter is all food has protein. And when you start to understand that the foods that I eat have no inflammation, then or cause inflammation, and I'm getting all these great sources of protein, then you would start to understand that for the longevity,
Sure.
I'm going to be able to run a lot longer compared to somebody who,
It makes sense.
yeah.
It really does make sense.
It's logical.
Yeah, well, I mean, TB12 and all that stuff, it's all plant-based, is it not?
Yeah, I had the TB12 for a long time. I loved it. Tom Brady's
No.
system.
What is that? I don't even know what it is. It's a system.
Yeah, so it's like one of those, I don't even know what you would compare it to, Blue Apron or something, where
Okay.
you get,
Oh, so it's just meal replacement
yeah,
kind
and then you
of
just
thing.
cook it. It comes all
Really?
prepared, and you just have to, cook it and
Sure, yeah.
delicious.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's a great example
Yeah.
of what it does to some. I mean, he still looks like he did. No, he doesn't look. He looks better than he was 25. And there's a lot of athletes now. A lot of professional athletes are going to plant-based diets. A lot of them. And people are like, "How do you get your protein?" Well, looking at those athletes, they're pretty damn muscular. So I'm pretty sure you'll figure out a way to get your protein if these athletes that are lifting and running all day long are getting their protein and doing what they're doing at that level.
Exactly. And
You
you
know?
can't grow without doing exercises.
Correct.
Right? So you can't get stronger and gain muscle without the exercise. That's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can understand that part of it, but now you add in the fact that you can get protein from many sources
Correct.
other than what their source that they're using now is going to my source
Sure.
to get it, right? It's
Yes.
just take out the middleman. You're going to get a cleaner source of protein.
Correct.
You're going to get a less inflammatory response in your body, but you're still going to have all the gains, and then you're
Absolutely.
not going to have the issue of down the road, right?
No doubt.
So
No
I mean,
doubt.
just kind of depends on what your mindset is, what your pick, like what you pick.
Yeah, sure.
You know, if you want to do, it's not about the taste exactly, right? Because some people say, oh well, I'm going to taste like I'm just eating a salad and all
Yeah,
this
yeah.
stuff. I'm like, you have no idea.
Jeez, I have
There's
no idea.
so many choices now. It's
There's
so easy.
So many choices.
Yes.
And for somebody, I like to cook, okay?
Yeah, me too.
I haven't really adopted vegan cooking yet. Like, because I have 2 big green eggs out there, and I just never really grilled a lot of dishes, you know what I mean? So I'm thrown off a little bit, okay? I'm going to figure it out eventually. There's some things that I do. But you were saying there's so many choices. Every day I find another vegan place.
Right?
And it's not that expensive. Like I did today I went to the Pure Kitchen on Kennedy.
I mean, I live there.
So many freaking choices in this darn thing.
I know.
And you get a $10 salad, and it's just an easy eat. You know what I mean? It's just it makes a lot of sense. And to me, it's like you said, it's about the way you feel, and anything that's worth your while is not going to be easy. I said that
Right.
my whole life, okay? This is not easy.
No,
but
it's
you just have to
an
be
extra
prepared.
step.
But that's it's important. Your health and your fitness is important, right?
Right.
So that means all you gotta do is prepare yourself.
Exactly.
And once you get into a flow of it, it's really not. It's almost as easy as it was when I was eating meat.
Right.
Once you get a flow of it, you know.
It's also about not being perfect at it, right? Like people are like, oh, so you eat Beyond Meat burgers or you eat Impossible burgers,
Yeah.
you know, isn't there a bunch of, and I'm like, you know what, if that really matters to you, like
what's their
they're
knock
saying
on it?
because, I mean, all these meats that are not meat
Correct.
are changing and getting better. They're all improving
they
because
sure are.
customers like myself
Yeah.
are asking, hey, can you do less saturated fat? Can you do less
Yeah.
sodium? So they are always improving, just like my energy bar after all these years has gone through so many iterations,
Sure.
different formulations to get it to where it is today, which I'm very happy with.
Sure.
But that might change.
That's understandable.
But these a lot of people naysayers are like, hey, you know, you're eating all these, you know, can you pronounce all the ingredients? And I'm like, yeah. Do you have any idea what it takes to get a steak to your plate?
Yeah, no
How
doubt.
many hands it touches?
Oh,
how
my
many
goodness.
things it goes through? How many chemicals it's
You
dunked
really,
in?
if you really think about it, though, and listen, I'm not a tree hugger by any means. I'm just not. But I'm a realist. Okay, this is real. If you go to a farm and you kill a chicken, it's not going to taste like the chicken at Publix.
Right.
I'm gonna tell everybody right now, I fish all the time. I'll go catch a fish in that bay and it won't taste like the fish at Publix. It's because it's not the same. It's by the time you catch that fish, they have to transport it, put it on ice, you gotta go on a boat, it's gotta go here or there, they inject it with stuff. By the time it gets to Publix, it's just a whole different product almost, you know,
Yep.
you know what I mean? So, you know, it's just, we don't know what they're putting in that can to make that product last forever. Like, what are they putting in that can to
also make it taste really good.
make it taste really good? But in 2 years, you can open it up and it's still going to taste good. You got to think, like,
Right.
It can't be good.
I can't live with that.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, so I think that's why. And the inflammation thing you said, and people say, well, what has happened? For me, when I say I feel better, I feel lighter. Okay, I feel less bloated.
Yep.
And my shoes even fit me better. Like you don't know that you're inflamed until you really lose it. You know.
Yep.
Like, I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm eating well. You know, like I'm not just. And I've said this before. Like, I've been on keto diets my whole life. Okay, and it stopped working. Things stop working. Your body gets acclimated to things.
Right, and then you reintroduce them, and guess what happens? Your body's like, thank you.
Correct, exactly.
I'm gonna hold on to that because I might not get it again.
Exactly. So, and when you talk about things to eat, for me, as somebody who's been on a keto diet the majority of his life, all the things that I wasn't allowed to eat,
You can now eat.
I'm eating now.
Right, it's kind of a freedom.
It's exactly what I'm at a restaurant and I'm ordering pancakes and I feel bad.
Right, you're like, oh, it's
I'm like,
carbs.
I'm eating pancakes. I'm like, oh my God, it's weird.
Right.
But then this is the other thing that I've realized now that I've been doing it for a while. You know, when you get a piece of toast or 2 pieces of a whole wheat toast or whatever and avocado on it and all the kind of stuff, like, how many calories in a whole avocado? 250 maybe?
Right around there.
Okay, so the whole dish is like 400 calories, you know what I mean? Like, if you get an omelet with cheese and bacon, and I mean, that's a lot of calories.
And cholesterol and saturated fat.
All that stuff that's just blocking you up. And that's another thing, is you just feel more free. You know what I mean? And this is what's about your bar. First of all, your bar is delicious, okay? And it's gone through metamorphosis itself.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't taste anything like it used to, but when you went through, they all taste great. And when I taste your bar and I'm chewing, it tastes like I'm doing something good for me, because a lot of other bars, like, I'm gonna make sure I say this, you didn't grind it up too much. Like, there's still chunks of stuff in there to where you still get the experience. So how many, and you don't know the number, there's no way you can know this number, but how many 3 bars you think you've been through in your lifetime that you have to go through to get to that one? How many final 3 bars have you actually put out there? Final 3 bars.
Well, I mean, I made it in my kitchen for 10 years straight, experimenting with, I had peanut butter and blueberry, peanut butter and strawberry, apricot. I mean, I had it all. And it just landed on these two flavors probably within the last 5 years because they're just the most popular ones.
Sure.
And there's so many good attributes about having an almond butter, about having organic coconut, about having dark chocolate. You know, these are foods that everybody knows.
Correct.
These are foods that are good for you, give you energy. You know, there's a good amount of protein in these bars because everybody's always talking about protein.
Correct.
And I think, you know, it has to have, look, if you're going to eat an energy bar or any kind of bar, it's got to taste good.
That's for real.
Because I will go and try my competitors, just hopeful, like, and then I'm like,
I understand.
you know, like I want to like it because it has so many great attributes, like mine does, you know, being soy-free, dairy-free, gluten-free, all these things. You're like, oh, and then you taste it and you're like, well, could use a little. I think that's where I stand out. I have a good amount of protein. It's got great flavor. It's, you know, easy to digest. I mean, I designed it so that I could race. So we would eat them before we would dive in the water. We would tape them to our bikes. We would eat them on this bike. And, you know, we never had any stomach issues. Again, all that plant-based products are easier on our digestive system.
No doubt about that.
Yeah, and then like later on down the road, back to what we were talking about, like I know being on a plant-based diet, which I think you do too, and you touched on that. It's like, yeah, the inflammation, all these things. And the choice is that my longevity is going to be, I'm going to have a less chance of getting any kind of heart disease and all these things.
That's another reason. That's another big reason. That's really is. Seriously.
But people don't think like that. They think here and now I need, you know, 400 grams of protein a day because I'm running and I'm working out. And it's like, I think people just don't understand.
Yeah. And they don't listen sometimes. And especially these days, and, you know, especially with politics, people don't listen. They just want to be right. They want to blurt things out. But I think I'm at an age now where I listen, and I listen to doctors. And when somebody says to a doctor, what's the best diet? I listen. And I think almost all of them say plant-based.
Yeah.
Almost all of them. And that's when I kept on hearing it, and I was like, okay, well, I'm smart enough to listen to a doctor, okay? So there's one thing that nobody can do, like they can hate on it, and they're gonna hate on it, and it does happen, but they can't say it's not good for you.
Yeah.
They can just say they can't do it.
But the part of that is the education. I mean, if you speak to a doctor and you ask them how many hours, weeks, credits for nutrition that they take, the answer I've gotten most of the time is 4 hours. So you're talking a medical degree with 4 hours of nutrition?
4. Really?
What can you learn in 4 hours?
Not a whole lot.
Right?
Not a whole lot,
And if you follow the money, I think that's part of it too.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Always.
That's why I quit listening to the news.
Well, that's good for you.
Yeah.
We need to all stop listening to the news.
Right. You can follow the money and know that most doctors are going to put Band-Aids on things and give you things for it.
Yeah. But most doctors will give you a pill.
Yep.
But if you ask them, hey doc, can I do this by myself? What kind of then see what he's, because he has to answer the question. But they'll probably offer the pills first.
Yep.
That's a fact.
Yep.
Like whether you're obese or whether you have a high blood pressure or high sugar, whatever, they'll give you a pill. Here's a pill. Here's a pill. Take this the rest of your life.
Yep.
And I'm somebody that has fought pills my whole life. Like I've seen pills kill people. Like I've seen people abuse pills and they're not here anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen it. And I've seen people abuse alcohol. They're not here anymore either. That's why I don't mess with pills. That's why I stopped drinking alcohol. Because, you know, smashing your head into people for a living, it's definitely been documented as detrimental to the length of your life.
Yeah.
So then I got to start doing some things to kind of add some years onto it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's where I'm going right now. Now, 3 Bar. Where did 3 Bar come from?
Well, originally it was E-Bar because Erin.
Okay.
And when I started getting really heavy into the triathlon world, it just made sense, right?
Okay.
The 3 sports,
Sure.
swim, bike, run.
Okay.
But it also meant something else for me, which is protein, carbs, and fat. Those are all your essentials, right?
Okay.
When you eat like that, you're in balance.
Sure.
So for me, having a balanced life, athletic, nutrition, yoga, meditation, there's so many things that the 3 means to people.
Sure. Yeah.
And for me, it was started off with triathlons and it's kind of morphed into other things. But always, if you are eating protein, carbs, and fat, you're not going to have a sugar spike. You're not going to be
all right. Yeah.
still hungry. You are eating in balance.
No doubt.
And that was the goal for the bar.
So what makes this bar so balanced? I'm looking at the nutritional value here.
Well, you always want to make sure you have fiber. I think people are so focused on protein that they forget that they need fiber.
Sure.
Fiber is what keeps you full, right? And I think when you have a bar, it has to have some amount of fiber in it to keep it balanced, but to keep you full, but not too much fiber that it's going to cause you any stomach discomfort. You need the fat, right? And then you need protein.
No doubt.
And it's got all of that, and it's turned into this very balanced, planned out bar after all these years.
No doubt.
Yeah, wait till you taste the popcorn.
Popcorn? What is a popcorn all about?
Plant-powered pop. We should have the final recipe tomorrow.
So it's actually like a bag of popcorn?
Yeah.
Really?
Bacon, sweet bacon, and I think we're gonna do truffle cheese.
Stop it.
We'll bring some by
And
tomorrow.
and everything's vegan and everything?
Of course.
Oh my God. That's what I'm saying though. Yeah.
I am vegan too.
When has this been in the works?
I actually had it on the market like probably 13 years ago. It was called, what was it called? No, it wasn't called Plant Power. It was like I don't know, protein popcorn.
Okay.
Pro Pop.
Sure. So it was on the market?
It was on the market for a short amount of time.
Wow.
My manufacturer was in New York. It just didn't work out. But now I've got a manufacturer here.
Okay.
So I'll be in the kitchen tomorrow popping.
You're hustling, man.
Yeah.
I love it. So if somebody wants to get 3 bars, what is, other than the Dignitary Tea and Kava House, which you can get here, what other place can you find the 3 bars here in Tampa Bay?
Oh gosh, everywhere. We Vegan Eats.
We Vegan Eats, I see them all the time. Yes.
Pure Kitchen, Soho Cycling, Harbor Island Athletic Club, all the Brandon Vegan Deli.
Okay.
Ybor City Vegan Deli.
Duckweed.
Duckweed. There's every duckweed.
Every duckweed.
Every duckweed.
But you're not messing around.
Yeah, pretty much anywhere you can. I mean, like anything healthy. Rolling oats.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just it's you. How many people are on your team?
Me and Brandy right now.
That's it.
That's it.
And you hustle.
I mean, I have somebody in California that sort of helps with, like, I would say the more of like the business side a little bit. Negotiations, working with the factory and the manufacturing side of things, because it's growing, and we just got into 75 Lifetime Fitnesses, so now we are nationwide.
Wow.
And that's exciting. That just went out like last week.
Jesus, so good.
And we're talking to Publix again.
So you were in Publix at one time?
I was, and I was 2 ahead of the game. Nobody was going into Publix in 2005 looking for a plant-based energy bar.
Probably not.
They were looking. Now they are, yes.
Yeah.
So that's why.
You know what? This would be good right at the bar, right at the cash register.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of plant-based people just sitting there looking around, and there's not a lot of plant-based things there.
I know.
You really think about it, you know?
Yeah.
So you've actually talked to Publix, and that's not an easy place to go in and even talk to.
Yeah, I have some good connections.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you know some people from back in the day.
I do. I've been around.
That's good. We've all been around this area for a while.
But I think I was ahead of my time, right?
Okay.
I mean, I've been vegan longer than most people even knew what vegan was.
That's true. That is true.
So, you know, maybe it was just the path that I was on just finally, caught up to me.
Sure.
The way it's caught up to you, and now you are vegan.
No, that's
you're
a
not
fact.
dabbling in it.
You were ahead of your time, no doubt. Now, how long do you say you've been vegan now?
Over 20 years.
Wow, really?
So most of my adult life.
So 20 years ago, when you wanted to eat vegan, how many choices restaurant-wise was out there?
Plain baked potato, a salad, and steamed broccoli.
Like
that
literally?
was my dinner every night. If we went out.
As you went out?
Yep.
No, seriously, I mean.
It was hard.
Even 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, if you open a restaurant and there's not a vegan section, you're dumb.
Right.
I'm just letting everybody know that. I mean, they say veganism is growing faster than anything out there, and it's growing.
I got my plant-based meatballs on the menu at Roman Fig. They didn't have any vegan options.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you have a special recipe for your meatballs?
I do.
Is
I'll make them for you.
Really?
They're so good.
Do you share your recipe?
I might.
Yeah?
We're working on the cookbook right now.
So you're thinking about making your own, would it be 3-bar, what would it be?
I don't know.
Erin's meatballs?
Sure.
Whatever, as long as they're delicious.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I threw a 6-course wine pairing and vegan dinner last Thursday.
What?
Yeah, this lady flew in from Napa. Her wines are amazing, and I didn't tell anybody that it was vegan. And the number one hit was the meatballs.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been to a few different places as of late, and I've had, like, at first the meatballs, I'm like, yeah. I would tell you, We Vegan Eats, their meatballs, I don't think I can tell the difference. And the other place now is Flourish.
Yes.
Flourish, their meatballs are delicious.
Have you had them at Fort Beachy? Fort Beachy's
I have
great.
not- they have
They have a lot of vegan options.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Jeff Gigante, we're talking about ahead of your time.
Yeah.
Jeff Gigante been ahead of his time for a long time.
Absolutely.
He's been on stuff, and like I consider Jeff like one of my business confidants. When I have questions, I'll call him because I know he's been through it, and he's gonna give me good advice.
Yep.
He'll give you some good advice. Jeff's good people.
Yeah.
Definitely good people.
And at Flour and Water, they have vegan meatballs.
Yes, they do. So
But mine are a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it's.
Is it a special ingredient that you put in there?
It's definitely like there's a few little surprises.
Okay, beautiful. So if some ham and eggers out there that wants to order some 3 bars, can you go on Amazon and can you order them like something like that?
We're working on the Amazon store, but the website is eFitFoods.com.
Okay.
Or try3bar.com. They both go to the same place. But
Okay.
yeah, and I mean, there's so many places in Tampa that sell them.
No doubt about that.
I mean,
So we're hoping you come here to Dignitary Tea and Kava House. That's our symbol right there, right on the corner of West Shore and Gandy. But otherwise, go to one of those other places. They're all wonderful places. We're trying to help out as local as we can. And
that's what I love about you. You're so community.
I try. Listen, like McDonald's doesn't need our help. They really
Right.
don't. But does mom and pops around the corner? That's what I consider myself as a mom and pops, and your mom and pops too.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, applaud everybody that's been hustling for a long time, and I know it takes a lot. Takes a lot to get to here.
It does.
It takes a lot to get to this point, and I've been around marketing enough to I look at something and I can tell all the process, but I can actually saw your process.
Yeah.
So I've seen you go through it, and you've been hustling since way back when. So I appreciate it, and we're proud to say this is our protein bar, Dignitary Tea and Kava House. So you got to come and check it out, or go to their website and get them, or anywhere. I mean, hopefully Publix too as well.
Yeah.
Or next time you're in Publix, say to them, "Yo, you guys need to get some 3 bars. We like the 3 bars."
Yeah.
See how I do it?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to happen, but you never know.
Hey, you know.
There's a few
Never know
people.
who's
There's a few
watching.
people listening. Exactly. Appreciate you guys listening in. It's been Plat Power Podcast. Everybody have a wonderful week and be safe. Peace out.